I've been meaning to make a video about this very topic here because I have gotten comments of people saying that my Corso is wild and it was a handful to raise and things like that. And I want to share something interesting that I've noticed. I've owned Corsos for now over 14 years, and we've bred them. I live with 5. Okay, I literally don't even think about ever owning another type of breed. This is my breed of choice, okay? But I want to share with you a few things. The Corso can have different energy levels and different personalities, okay? In general, a Corso is a Corso is a Corso. You're going to have very strong guarding, protecting instincts. Their loyalty will be 10x compared to other breeds. They take their jobs very seriously, and they will bond very, very closely with their human family, okay? You can't get that. Usually it comes with the breed, okay? However, the energy level of a Corso can vary. And I've noticed a difference between the old school Corso, okay? And the old school Corso was bred to be working farm dogs. They have higher prey drives. They have higher energy levels because that's what they were bred for. They need it. What I notice is that there are a lot of American lines that, the energy levels have now varied, and now you got a lot more chiller Corsos that can live with the human family and doesn't necessarily need to be worked. I mean, they're always working, right? Because they're always guarding you. But, and this is my opinion. Please don't come at me because I just observed, obviously, Corsos like a long time. And you guys know I'm obsessed, okay? I'm obsessed with the Corso. So let's talk about this for a second. So there's different levels, right, of energy. So you got what I consider a very chill energy. You see Achilles on my videos. I picked him on purpose. Out of all his litter, he was the most even-tempered, mellow Corso you can imagine. I knew he was going to be what I consider un pan de Dios, which is a piece of bread of God, okay? Because I could just tell. I also did a temperament test on him, which I shared here on my channel. Temperament test you can do on puppies to kind of gauge. They're going to be a handful, or can I work with this, okay? And it depends on your lifestyle. Then you have that medium energy Corso, which is fairly common. They need to be walked. They need to be trained. All Corsos need to be trained, but you guys get what I'm saying. They need to get the energy out, and then they are chiller. And then I've seen a very high energy, very high drive, very strong old school Corso, man, it comes out in them because of genes. They were bred to be farm dogs. They were bred for that kind of stuff, right? So, when you see videos out there and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna buy a Corso and have this sweet teddy bear at home, that's not necessarily always the case because of what they were originally bred for. You got old school Corsos and you have USA modified Corsos, I would say. The old school Corso tends to be smaller. I mean, they're still mastiffs, still going to be over 100 pounds, but they tend to be smaller, right? Because you guys know, you hear people say, oh, my Corso is 180, 200. That's not the original Corso. The original European line Corso is smaller, more agile, more drive, more working farm type dog, okay? Then you have the American lines, and there's a whole reasons for it, but whatever the case is, USA likes bigger and better, I guess, and kept breeding them bigger, okay? So what I consider USA lines tend to be bigger dogs, maybe over 130, 140. I mean, you hear crazy things like my Corso's 200 pounds, right? Which, that just, I guess it depends. You can have the spectrum. There's still mastiffs, remember that. Still guard dogs, okay? But you can have that. Now, there is that temperament test that I was explaining. You can just put the baby on its back, when you're choosing. You know, if you are that lucky enough to be able to choose from a litter, you can do that. You can ask the breeder, like, you know, can you do the temperament test? Are they, you know, so to match your lifestyle. If you like to hike, you like to be active, then you might want that medium level energy. You might want the very energetic. If you need them to do work in your farm, okay, you actually need them to do what they were bred for, then you might want more high drive Corso. Okay, but if you need a couch potato and you just want all the other things that come with a Corso, then you may want to kind of look at that. And I know, you know, it's hard because it's hard to look at the draw sometimes when you go to a breeder and that's all they have available, or you really want a female or a male, or you wanted a certain color and you're really not thinking about the other things. You kind of, you know, kind of comes with it, and you know, and you kind of learn. Now, I do want to tell you that there is light at the end of the tunnel, because most Corsos, and I say the word most, will mature out of that. First year's harsh. Teenage year, they're gonna be testy. You know, it happens. And then after like 2.5 years old, that's when they like fill out and their heads get like really full, and they are just majestic and confident, and their presence is like there, and they are, you know, chiller. They're adults now, right? And then the, you know, older senior Corsos, which I have a special place in my heart for the old ones, because they will still do their thing in their job, but also just want to cuddle all day. So it's like these different stages of life, you know, puppies, teenager, adulthood, and senior dogs. So I hope this video was helpful. I've been meaning to talk about this because, you know, I can see the difference. I can even see the difference in the way they look, guys. Like, I can tell an old school Corso, the way they were supposed to be bred, are tighter jaws. They are still very muscular. They're very muscular actually, but they're not as, you know, not as much rolls, extra skin, and not as big. And then you got the more of American lines, and you're gonna find those to be, you know, bigger and maybe have some extra rolls. I would say Achilles is probably in the middle, or maybe more in the looks, more towards the American line. But then I have Corsos in my kennel that are more toward the original line. You can just tell. Now, there is a particular book that's called The Catch and Hold Dog by Paolo. I can't remember his last name right now. I'll pin it. And he describes what the Corso, I mean, he's one of the founders, what the Corso is supposed to look like and be like. And the pictures in that book, a Corso is a Corso, yet they look a little different. And even in the European lines, they started to mess around with the Corso a bit, and they started to look a little more boxier. So it's interesting. If you guys want me to make more content about like the history of the Corso, what they were bred for, what they look like, all this stuff, I mean, I have a lot of information because I really love and enjoy looking into this, but y'all let me know.